I'm joined here with CEO of the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation, Malcolm Radke, and we're talking about the Muck Run being canceled for this year. How many years would it have been if the run was able to happen this year?
Oh, that's a good question. That run has been going for a solid 8 years now. And unfortunately, we obviously missed it last year. So this will be the second year without it.
And how much has the Health Foundation raised through this run so far?
So far, we've hit $100,000. So it's a nice chunk of change for us, especially in the spring when people are feeling better and getting ready for the outdoor events and get moving again. So yeah, it's been a nice one for us, and we're sad to have to miss it again.
And can you expand a bit on what's all involved with this run each year?
It's uh, it's an easier version of a gladiator run, basically Spartan run. So yeah, you do a bit of a jog, and then there's throughout that jog around Bud Miller around the park. There's different obstacles you can go on. You eventually get to the top of the hill, and you slide down into a big foam party, and then there's obviously the infamous mud crawl that you always see in the photo, and crawl under trucks, or the monkey bars that are at the park, at the back of the park for us year round. You crawl over those, you climb on those, and obviously if you slip, you fall in the mud, and you just keep going. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. You do it with your friends and feel like you've accomplished something, and you raise money for charity.
And children were also allowed to participate in this run, correct?
Yeah, sadly, the last year that we were able to pull this event off, we created a mini muckers category, and it was actually a huge success. And I know some parents and kids were excited to get back to it. And then obviously last March, COVID hit, so we had to cancel last May's event pretty instantly. And this year we were hopeful. We had a couple plans for a smaller version of the event, and unfortunately, with the latest lockdowns and some of the rises in COVID variant cases, it just made sense for us to err on the side of caution for one more year.
Yes. Can you tell me more on what the process was like for the foundation to finally decide about the cancellation for this event?
Sure, we were excited in December coming off our radiothon. Mikey Dubs ran all day for us, 124 kilometers. So we thought, well, maybe we can incorporate his audience and his crowd and the jogging elements, expand on that a little bit. And we had a bunch of new ideas. And obviously, like you mentioned before, the mini muckers, there was a few different ideas we tossed around, and we just kept watching the social distancing and outdoor gathering rules change, and we were obviously hopeful that it would be going in the other direction. But recently, in the last month or so, it seems pretty obvious that until the vaccines are totally rolled out, those outdoor gathering rules aren't changing anytime soon. So from a planning perspective, yeah, we just had to delay it for another year and not take any risks with any smaller versions that we had in mind.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, we work in healthcare, so we have to err that way. And then I was just going to say, we'll look in the fall and next winter, we'll start to see if things open up again and vaccinations go well, then obviously we'll start planning, and we'll hope to do it bigger and better next year.
And how else can people help support the foundation since this is not happening this year?
Well, we always accept donations. We are in the business of receiving donations. So if you were going to drop that $50 on Muck Run, we ask you to consider repurposing it and just simply donate on our webpage. We still have a few COVID related items in the senior care homes, and actually a couple of requests just recently came out of the Lloydminster Hospital lab department. So we're always receiving donations that way. And of course, people use our hospital regardless whether there's a pandemic or not. And the wish list for new equipment never seems to go away. So anything you can spare is always appreciated. And as I mentioned, the easiest way to do that is through our website, lrhf.ca/donate, or in the coming months, we will have a couple announcements about raffles, 50-50 type items and things like that. And that'll be obviously to replace Muck Run revenue and potentially other event revenue, depending how this summer goes.
And is there anything else you'd like to add that the foundation has planned for the rest of this year that they can do through COVID?
Um, I don't think so. Obviously, we're moving to a lot more digital events, virtual events, like everybody else, and the community's been great to us. You guys really, the entire community stepped up and supported us over the last year in response to COVID, which is no surprise to anyone. And I know there's a lot of businesses and other charities out there hurting. So just do your best to give where you can, and just know that we're all super thankful for everything you can spare. And of course, thank you to Stingray and yourself for covering the story for us.